إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا ونبينا مولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا مولانا محمد صلاة دائمة مقبولة تعدي بها أنها القول العظيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين صدق الله مولانا العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الأمين الحكيم الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين غوث اعظم بمن بیسر اسامہ مدد قبلہ دی مدد کعبہ امام مدد قادری امنا آرائے یا غوث اعظم نی ظلم تمز شیخ احمد رضا خان قطب عالم نی ظلم سیدی یا مرشدی شاہ مصطفیٰ زندہ باد مسلک سرکار اعلیٰ اعلی حضرت زندہ باد یا الہی مسلک احمد رضا خان زندہ باد حفظ ناموں سے رسالت کا جو ذمہ دار ہے سیدی یا مرشدی شاہ مصطفیٰ زندہ باد حامل فیض رضا مصطفیٰ امداد کن صلی اللہ علیہ النبی امی و آلہ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم صلاۃ و سلام علیک یا سیدی یا سندی یا حبیبی یا طبیبی یا رسول اللہ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم وعلی آلک و اصحابک یا رحمت للعالمین. All praise is due to Almighty Allah. Durood and salams upon the most perfect and exalted of Allah's creation, Sayyidina Mawlana Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. His blessings and salutations upon the Anbiya Ikram, Ahle Bayt Athhar, Sahaba Ikram, Khulafa Rashidin, Tabi'in, Tabi' Tabi'in, A'immah Mujtahideen, Awliya Kamilin, and all those who follow the path until the last day. We thank Almighty Allah for His infinite mercy and the wasilah of Rasul Akram Noori Mujassam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam for affording us the opportunity to congregate to Salatul JUMMAH and prostrate this most exalted court. Before continuing any further, let us direct our hearts, our thoughts and our minds towards the holy and the sanctified court of the beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and in doing so let us collectively recite the Durood Sharif. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Nabiyyina Mawlana Muhammad وعلى آل سيدنا مولانا محمد وأصحابه وبارك وسلم صلاة وسلام عليك يا سيدي يا سندي يا حبيبي يا طبيبي يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا رحمة للعالمين. مٹتے ہیں مٹ گئے مٹ جائیں گے عادات تیرے، مٹتے ہیں مٹ گئے مٹ جائیں گے عادات تیرے، نہ مٹا ہے نہ مٹے گا کبھی چرچا تیرا، نہ مٹا ہے نہ مٹے گا کبھی چرچا تیرا. اور مزرعہ چشت بخارا و عراق و اجمیر، مزرعہ چشت بخارا و عراق و اجمیر، کون سی کشت پہ برساں نہیں جھالا تیرا. جو ولی قبل تھے یا بعد ہوئے یا ہوں گے، جو ولی قبل تھے یا بعد ہوئے یا ہوں گے، سب ادب رکھتے ہیں دل میں میرے آقا تیرا. اور کیا دبے جس پہ حمایت کا ہو پنجہ تیرا، کیا دبے جس پہ حمایت کا ہو پنجہ تیرا. شیر کو خطر میں لاتا نہیں کتا تیرا، شیر کو خطر میں لاتا نہیں کتا تیرا. سارے اقطاب جہاں کرتے ہیں کعبے کا طواف، سارے اقطاب جہاں کرتے ہیں کعبے کا طواف. کعبہ کرتا ہے طواف اے در والا تیرا، کعبہ کرتا ہے طواف اے در والا تیرا. This is سرکار غوث اعظم. This is the shan and the martaba and the maqam and the fazilat of Sarkar Shaykh Mahjuddin Abdul Qadir Jilani al-Baghdadi radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. This is that Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu anhu who is the Jami' and the epitome of Jalal and Jamal. He is the epitome of Jalal and Jamal. His Jamal is, he says, Muridi, La takhaf Allahu Rabbi, Atani rif'atan niltul manali. This is his Jamal that he says to his Murids, don't fear. Allah is my Rabb. He speaks about the maqam and the fadilah that his Rabb has given him. So he says, don't fear. That is his muhabbat and his Jamal towards his Murideen and his Mu'taqideen. And his Jalal is Muridi la takhaf washin fa'inni azumun qatilun indal qitali. Don't fear that when I draw my sword, then nobody can stand in front of me. Sarkar Azam Jilani al-Baghdadi radiyallahu anhu, Huzur Sayyidi Muhaddis Kabir Qibla explains something very beautifully. He says that the Jalal of Sarkar Azam in one zamana was such that if a person took his name without wudu, his head would fall off. Samajh rahe aap? If somebody took his name without taharat, without wudu, his head would fall off. And then, through the blessing and the mercy of Sarkar Pak and the karam from the court of Allah, this was alleviated. But he says, even till today, if you take the name of Sarkar Pak without the state of taharat, name, which name? Shaykh Abdul Qadir. If you take it without taharat, then for that moment you lose some barakat in your life. This is Shaykh Abdul Qadir. This is Sarkar. That is why we say Ghaus Pak, Sarkar Ghaus. We say all those names instead of saying directly the name. And when we in the state, when we are able to say that name with adab, then we say Shaykh Muhyiddin Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. If you hold, always remember, if you hold to the daman of the pious, if you hold to the daman of the awliya, then you are kamyab here and you are a kamyab in the hereafter. But the awliya hold to the daman of Ghaus Pak. We hold to their daman and they hold to the daman of Imamul Awliya, Sarkar Ghaus Pak. Why? Because he is holding to the daman of Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Okay? Sarkar Ghaus Pak radiyallahu anhu shan is that the awliya of every zamana have taken the barakat from the court of Ghaus Pak. And there are those who were before him that gave barakat in the court of Ghaus Pak. In other words, they came to give special blessings to Ghaus Pak radiallahu. And in his zamana and after all those that are there amongst the awliya, they come and take the special blessings of Sarkar Ghaus Pak radiallahu ta'ala. You know, there was once an elderly personality, very quickly. I'm being very brief because of time. Once an elderly personality presented himself in the court of Sarkar Ghaus Pak. I want to show you that Ghaus Pak ki karam kahan tak hai. I want you to understand how far reaching is this power of Sarkar Ghaus Pak which Allah gave him. Which Allah gave him. How far reaching it is. This elderly person comes in the court of Sarkar Ghaus Pak, others too were coming. I'm being very brief. And he comes in the court of Sarkar Ghaus Pak radiallahu anhu. I want you to pay special attention to what I'm saying. He comes into the court of Sarkar Ghaus Azam radiallahu anhu. I want you to see how far reaching this is. That the taqat of the dua and the words that come from the zuban of Sarkar Ghaus Pak. That the awliya Allah and those that have received great maqam after him in the court of Allah got it because of him. Okay? An elderly person comes in the court of Sarkar Ghaus Pak with everybody else that is there, being brief. And he brings with him his 8-year-old son. He brings with him his 8-year-old son. And while with respect presenting himself in the darbar of Sarkar Ghaus Pak, he says, O Shaykh Abdul Qadir al-Jilani al-Baghdadi radiallahu anhu, I request that you make special dua for this child of mine, that he should grow to serve Allah's deen, I'm being brief, and he should be a great fortress for the deen of Allah, So Hazrat Ghaus Pak radiallahu anh makes dua for that 8-year-old boy. Do you know who that 8-year-old boy was? Hazrat Sayyidina Salahud'Een Ayyubi radiallahu anh.
Subhanallah, subhanallah.
The personality who took Jerusalem.
Subhanallah, subhanallah.
The personality who took the keys of Masjid Aqsa at the time of the Crusades. Salahud'Een Ayyubi radiallahu anh took that because of the 8-year-old when he was, and Ghaus Pak gave him the dua. And the personality that brought him was his father. Samajh rahe aap? How far reaching this is. Today when we talk about Salahud'Een Ayyubi and the conquests, this is behind that was the mother of Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiallahu ta'ala. Was the aid of Sarkar-e Ghaus Pak radiallahu anh. So those who say Salahud'Een and say that they don't believe in Muhyiddin, they don't understand Salahud'Een. They don't understand Salahud'Een, because Salahud'Een became Salahud'Een because the dua of Muhyiddin. Because of the dua of Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala. Samajh rahe? Today when you look at all these conquests and you look at the power of Salahud'Een, then you must understand that the hand behind was Abdul Qadir Jilani. Kya dabe jis pe himayat ka ho panja tera? Kya dabe jis pe himayat ka ho panja tera? Sher ko khatra milata nahi kutta tera. You become a true slave and the dog and the dog at the court of Ghaus Pak. Nobody can touch you. Ghaus Pak promised, I'm on one end and you on the other end. If you get into trouble, I'll stretch my hand and aid you. I'll stretch my hand and aid you. Those of us, you know, it's the month of Gyarvi Sharif. Still in the month of Gyarvi Sharif. Let me share something with you about Gyarvi Sharif. And then when we end, inshallah. And talking about Hazrat Salahud'Een Ayyubi radiallahu anh and his conquest, don't forget the Muslims of Palestine. And I'm going to be speaking about this as much as I can throughout these weeks, because this should not be a forgotten topic. Generally, whatever happens in Gaza and people forget about it. Everybody goes to sleep. The time for sleeping has come to an end. You need to make this continuous discussion so that the people are alert about the reality. Last week I told you approximately 1,200, I'm not going in any other discussion, 1,200 children were made shaheed. I told you that last week, last Friday. Today it is over 3,700. 1,200 last week. Who are they killing? Who are they killing? They are killing children. More than 2/3 of those that are being killed are women and children. Are women and children. Think about it. What is the so-called bravery of those who kill women and children? तब भी कहते हम बहुत बड़ा काम कर रहे. What are you defending? This is genocide at its highest. And we, in the most harsh terms, we speak against this and we make inkar of all of this. Because this is not what humanity is about. For those who speak about human rights, this is not. Okay? We'll keep this topic going. But I want to tell you, since we're talking about the Gyarvi of Ghaus Azam radiallahu anhu, the Sarkar-e Ghaus Pak radiallahu anhu's Gyarvi Sharif manana, ye kitni badi barakat hai. I was listening to a discourse of HAZRAT Allama Mufti Shahid Raza, the son-in-law of Tajushariah, and it refreshed my memory about one incident. It refreshed my memory about something which I had read many years ago. You know, amongst the great awliya Allah, there is one personality who is Sayyidina Mirza Mazhar-e-Jan. Very great personality. And his incidents and waqiyas are written by Hazrat Shah Waliullah. And Shah Waliullah, not only we accept, they too accept. Those who say don't make Gyarvi. Okay? This great personality, and Hazrat Shah Waliullah writes this, that this great personality, Sayyidina Mirza Mazhar-e-Jan had a dream. He writes this dream, Shah Waliullah records it. And he says that this personality sees that in the dream, there's a huge majlis. There's a huge gathering taking place. And in that gathering, there is a masnad, a special seat of excellence that has been placed. And in the dream he sees that on that masnad a very bright and rohani personality is sitting. And all the awliya are sitting near that personality. Sees this dream. Hazrat Shah Waliullah is reporting it. And the personality who is seeing this dream, who I mentioned just now to you, he says, in the dream I found myself present there. So I asked the awliya that were there, who is this personality sitting on the masnad? Who is this personality? They said that this personality is Sayyidul Taifa Imam Junaid Baghdadi radiallahu anhu. Oh, it is Sayyidina Imam Junaid Baghdadi radiallahu anhu. He says, while I was making ziyarat of Sayyidul Junaid Baghdadi in that dream, I seen another Mubarak personality, dressed in a Mubarak libas, glowing, shining, dressed very meticulously, very handsome personality. He enters the majlis and even Junaid Baghdadi and all the others get up in his adab. He says, and I looked at him and I admired him, but I saw that with him was another person wearing tattered and torn clothes and holding his hand, and that person's hair was matted, unkempt, not combed hair. He was holding the hand of this very bright and glorious personality, whom even Sayyidina Junaid Baghdadi was making ziyarat of. So he says, I saw them walk in and I saw everybody get up and walk with them and follow them. So I asked somebody in the dream that is Junaid Baghdadi who was there from before. Who is this glorious personality that came? Who is glowing so much and is in such a Mubarak libas, dressed so beautifully? Said, it's Mawla Kainat Ali Murtada radiallahu ta'ala. That is Mawla Kainat HAZRAT Ali Murtada radiallahu anhu. He said, and who is the one in the tattered and torn clothes that's holding the hand of Mawla Kainat? He said, it's Sayyidul Tabi'een Hazrat Uwais Karni radiallahu ta'ala. That is Sayyidul Tabi'een Hazrat Uwais Karni radiallahu anhu. And he says, then I saw them going towards a huge hall, a huge room, from which radiance was emanating. And they were entering in the room, and I asked to somebody, what is happening there? They said they are going to bless the Gyarwi of Sarkari Ghaus-e Azam radiallahu anhu. They are going to bless the mahfil of the Gyarwi of Sarkari Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiallahu anhu. This is the shan of Ghaus-e Azam radiallahu anhu, that the awliya come there to take barakat, and the beloveds above them come there to give barakat in the court of Sarkari Ghaus-e Pak radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So how khush nasib we are. And you know what, I'm ending with one point. Ghaus-e Azam radiallahu anhu says, you know the one, Abul Ma'ali, the one of the famous murids of Sarkari Ghaus-e Pak radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He was very close to Ghaus-e Pak radiallahu anhu. One day he was famous waqia, he was walking with Ghaus-e Pak radiallahu. I'm making this waqia you've heard many times, but I'm saying it to end today to make a point. He was close in the court of Ghaus-e Pak radiallahu. How lucky these people were. Okay? That they walked and they sat with Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani. So he was in the court of Sarkari Ghaus-e Pak radiallahu anhu, and he was always there. And the one day, he sees that it's just him and Ghaus-e Pak. Ghaus-e Pak is in front, he's walking behind, nobody else. So he starts to think in his heart that, you know, what happened today? Whenever I'm with Ghaus-e Pak, there are crowds coming from all sides. Somebody is coming to ask dua, somebody is coming to say this, somebody is coming to kiss his Mubarak hand, somebody is coming to ask a question. Today there is nobody. Today there is nobody. What happened today? He said, as I said, the Sarkari Ghaus-e Pak turned and he looked at me. I only thought. He turned and he looked at me. He said, and from all four sides people started to emerge. All four sides, yahan tak ki dhakka dhakki mein I am right at the back. I was very far away from Sarkari Ghaus-e Pak radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He said, when I got right to the back, now I couldn't even see him properly. So I started to say in my heart, that was better before. Better was before. At least Ghaus-e Pak was in front, I was walking behind his each qadam. Now so many people came, I can't even get nearer. He said, Sarkari Ghaus-e Pak looked at me and he said, please decide, what do you want? Allah, Allah. Decide what do you want. He said, listen, the hands of the people the hearts of the people are in my hand. The hearts of the people are in my hand. I draw them when I want and I disperse them when I want. The point that I want to make here, the fact that we are making Ghaus Pak's gallery is because Ghaus Pak is drawing us towards him. He draws when he wants, he disperses when he wants. Make shukr that he has drawn us in his court. You are not doing it and remembering him because you want to. You are remembering him because he chose you to. Because he keeps the hearts of whom he wills towards him. So remember this always. And this is a very great barakah. This is a very great blessing. And share this blessing with your children. So that one day they will share it with their children. And continue making this dua that may Ghaus Pak always keep our hearts in his hand. May he always keep our hearts in his hand and may he always keep us attracted towards him. If that happens, then you are successful here and you are successful in the hereafter. Allah keep us with iman, let us keep us all with iman. Those who are ill, Allah grant them shifa, kamil, sayada, afiq. Those that have passed away in Sunnah, Allah exalt them in Jannat al-Naim. Many people have asked me in the course of the week to make dua for them. I can't remember everybody's names. Whoever asked me to make dua for them, I'm making dua for all of them. Through the sadaqah of Rasulullah, that whatever they asked from me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, permissible whatever they have asked for, Allah bless them with that. I'm making dua for all those that in the masjid and your families and communities that are ill and parishan. Allah give you shifa and remove you from your parishanis. And special dua for the Muslims of Palestine. May Allah have mercy upon them. May Allah bless them with strength. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep them thabit qadam. And may Allah destroy those who are trying to harm the deen of Allah and His beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Those who are oppressing those who are mazloom, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect them. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give saqf badla to the zalim. May Allah keep us with iman. Let us leave this world with iman. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before the zikr, just a reminder that tomorrow is Holy Mahfil, 28 days to Holy Mahfil, Bilal Mufti, that we have every month for men only. And also, it's a special Mahfil for dua for the Muslims of Palestine. So tomorrow, inshallah, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Imam Mustafa Razali Center, 28 Clayton Road. Please try to join us for the Bilal Sharif, Yami Sharif, also all the awliya Allah, and dua for the Muslims of Palestine. أفضل ذكر لا إله إلا الله 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 محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إلا الله 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 لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الله 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 لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يا حي يا قيوم 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 لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يا شيخ سيد عبد القادر جيلاني شعن لله شعن لله شعن لله أغثني بإذن الله
فعل حضرت دستگیر دشمن ہوئے زیر فعل حضرت دستگیر دشمن ہوئے زیر فعل حضرت دستگیر